on the way to school this morning, me and Kendall were talking, and I really, really love our time in the morning that we talk, because she's always asking questions, and a lot of it's questions that are about God, and it just, I don't know, it's just a really great thing. It's something that I really enjoy. And so we have about 25-30 minutes in the car in the morning to just talk. And in the past, I can't remember when it was or what the situation was, but she was asking me, or she was telling me that she hated something or hated somebody. And I'm going to share my experiences, whether they're good or they're bad, and in hopes that will shed light on something and help somebody. And what better way than to explain to my daughter that I am human and that I have had hatred in my heart for people. And in kindergarten, I had this teacher. Her name was Miss Ingram, and for whatever reason, I didn't like her, and I don't think she liked me. And so I hated her, and I always said that I hated her. I didn't tell her to her face, but I made it very clear to, whether it was family or whatever, that I just really didn't like this woman. And I just didn't like her. Well, she gave us these for Christmas or something. It was totally random. It was a pair of white socks with like a purple, like a little spot at the top. It was purple. And, so I took them home, like whatever, I threw them in my drawer. And, but that year, I think it was right after we got out for the summer, I'm thinking is when it happened. But my mom came and talked to me, and something had happened, some tragic, I don't know if it was like a heart-related issue, I can't remember exactly what happened. But she died. And I felt horrible because I hated her so much. And all that hatred, is just, continuously spilled out of my mouth. I hate this woman. I hate this woman. I just really don't like her. And I always got blamed for stuff that I didn't do. And, for whatever, other reasons, I just really didn't like her. And, I explained to Kendall, I said, baby, don't say you hate people. I said, that's really bad. I said, hate can do bad things. And, sorry, my thing's still loud. But I told her, I said, hate can do bad things. And she said, what do you mean? And I explained to her, I said, I hated my kindergarten teacher. Miss Martell, by the way, we love you. There's no hatred in our heart for you. But I told her, I said, I really hated this woman. And, bad things happened. I said, she died. And I said, I feel horrible. And, and she told me this morning it was the most convicting thing coming out of a 5-year-old's mouth. She said, Mommy, she's like, why didn't you ask God to forgive you? If you had Jesus in your heart, why did you hate her? You're not supposed to hate if you have Jesus. He's supposed to be there and help you. And I'm like, yeah, that is the truth, coming out of her mouth, out of the mouth of babes. It says in Proverbs 18:21 that the power of life and death is in your tongue. And the things that you speak have power to them, whether they're positive or negative. There's so much power in what you speak. And also in Mark 3:25, it says that a house divided against itself cannot stand. And that can mean whether it's your home, like physically your home, or, our nation, our home that we live in, our nation. Our nation is so divided. There's so much hatred. There's so much hatred in this country for, I won't even go through the list. There's so much for anything, for so much stuff, disabilities and all kinds of stuff. And, we can't hate people. We can't have all this hate in our heart. Jesus didn't go around with hatred in his heart. He went around with love in his heart. And I'm not saying that he condoned the sin, and he didn't try to correct it, and he didn't speak against it. But he didn't go around, you're a prostitute, or you're this, you're that, and got in people's faces and with hatred in it. He did it in love. And he can't, if we're Christians, we're supposed to love people and let our lives show that we love them. The cool thing is, I just started at Chick-fil-A last week, and I did not come in here saying I have almost 4 years Chick-fil-A experience. I didn't go around to everybody and say I've got experience with Chick-fil-A. No, I came in here and I've been doing my job, and I've had several people ask me. They're like, have you worked at a Chick-fil-A before? I'm like, yeah, I have, the life that I'm living in here, I'm not going in and getting in people's faces and saying, that I've worked at Chick-fil-A, or, yeah, I've got experience, don't tell me that. I'm living, and I'm just working the life that, that's showing that I have had experience in it. And as Christians, that's what we should do. We shouldn't go in and get in people's faces. We should live a life that shows that we have Jesus in our heart, and not have hatred. We've got to be different. We can't just keep going with the flow, and there's not going to be a change in our life. Then what is the reason for anybody else to want to be a Christian if they don't see a change in our life and see difference in our life? But I just want to really encourage you guys today to stop hating, stop the hatred, because hatred builds up these huge walls with like barbed wire on top. It's very dangerous, whether it's in your family, your friendships, or whatever. You've got to stop the hatred. Let the hatred stop, and let Jesus just come in and just clean out all the mess that's in there, and just ask him to forgive you and make it right before you can't make it right. Have a good day.